Your hands with your fingers spread apart on the table. And then I'm going to hit this, and when the vibrations stop, it's then that you could open your eyes. I'm going to hit it now with your hands on the table. In the air, with your eyes open, you define the size of your paper. It doesn't have to be the paper in front of you, but the paper you're free to design. I've mapped it out. This is the size of my reality. I'm going to make one continuous overlapping line, not breaking the line. It will be in straights and rounds. Again, a line like this is not acceptable. In life, we must learn how to not play it safe and say, well, maybe, or I don't mind if I do. Apologizing for your life cannot be lived that way. Yeah, all we have to do is be quiet and listen hard and love hard. Love opens all the doors. I think, anyway. Even when I don't think, I know that to be true.
She created a craft in Mexico about papier-mâché. She came and she did them, they look like ceramic. There was a white, and she created a whole craft. So no matter where you went on the fancy stores, there was Gemma busts and Gemma lipstick covers and Gemma this and Gemma that. And what became amazing is that the crafts in Mexico changed a lot because of her. See, they start doing her things. So she was always on the lips of everybody.
Tell me about your experience with tile.
Got orders before I even ever did one, and did it.
What in you knew you could do it?
What made you think you could do what you're doing? There was no second thought, was there?
She strips away all the tricks of painting that get slaps on the back of, oh wow, look at the sparkle on this eyeball, you know. It's more of just, hey, look at this person's soul that she somehow got on the canvas.
I had no interest particularly in art other than observing it. And the only way I would get to meet this woman is to go with a bunch of women and pretend I was interested in art.
So when I went to see her, she lived very close to the ocean. And as I walk in, she tells me, "Where have you been? I have been waiting for you for so many years."
Your grandmother is so honest, so open.
I think she knew, what I saw. She said, "Isn't the carpet great?" And at her old place, it was like totally stained and spotted. And I said to her, "Well, actually, I was thinking that it might be nice to have it cleaned." And she just went off. She says, "What's important is that we have this beautiful big table to create in, and what's important is that we have all these wonderful books, these teachers here to show us art. What's important is that we have all these supplies available, and what's important is that we have so much light, and we can focus on our work and do what we need to do. And what's important is that we can create and paint and draw and not worry about what the carpet looks like. That's what's important."
Generous, splendid, splendid, splendid movements. Don't be afraid of your own body and your own passion.
So she comes out on her balcony like it was a scene from an Italian opera. And she had this robe on. And she said, she opened the robe like that and said, "Tonight's the night." And she was stark naked. And back again.
She got a little bit disgusted with organized religion, and so she decided that she would start her own church. The first thing that she saw around her studio was this big chunk of provolone cheese. So she hung it up in her studio, made a little altar, and told everybody that come in that this is her new church, and it was the Church of the Provolone, and asked them to worship at the feet of this stinky cheese, you know, and as the weeks went on, the cheese got smellier and smellier. Pretty soon, she just decided it was time to shut the doors down of the church.
You know, they say that when Buddha walked into a town that everyone was uplifted simply by his vibration, and that's what Gemma does. She changes your consciousness. She's a force unto herself.
It's a spiritual power that she has, but she does not preach about it. She lives it. You can feel it.
She's hurt some feelings before. She's crushed some egos, but she's also rebirthed some crushed souls. She's raised some people from the dead.
I mean, boy, she's brought me out of some really dark times in my life. Just snatched me right up and brought me back.
Recognize that everyone's pain is exactly the same. Everyone's need for oxygen is exactly the same. When you don't feel yourself bigger or smaller than, but part of the family of man. That is what it's all about.